having his statement about Conor's manager coming to MVP and trying to set up a fight, but them not doing it because it isn't associated with the UFC.
Jake Paul has stirred the pot again, announcing he's ready to fight Conor McGregor. This bold claim, however, comes with conditions that have left many puzzled. Just when it seemed Jake's antics couldn't get more outrageous, he's back in the spotlight with this audacious challenge.
He doesn't want to push for unless the UFC is directly at the table negotiating, because quite frankly, that's what it's going to take for any of this to be a reality.
Jake Paul has once again managed to make headlines, leading many to believe he's a legitimate boxer. Now, he's laying down conditions to involve the UFC or Dana White, otherwise, nothing will happen. Seriously, Jake Paul targeting Conor McGregor? A man who has excelled in both MMA and boxing. With these conditions, is this the fight fans have been eagerly anticipating, or is Jake just seeking more attention for his next big announcement? In a recent twist, Jake Paul claimed that Conor McGregor's camp is desperately trying to arrange a fight with him. However, instead of following the usual channels, they've reportedly brought in Bellator's superstar Michael Venom Page as a mediator. Yes, McGregor's team, with all their resources and connections, reaching out through a rival promotion, is not just surprising, it's shocking. Jake Paul has thrown another curveball into the combat sports world, proving once again that if there's one thing he does best, it's dropping bombshells.
Having his statement about Conor's manager coming to MVP and trying to set up a fight, but them not doing it because it isn't associated.
Jake Paul surprised everyone by not jumping at the chance to chase McGregor's attention like a dog after a bone. Instead, he flipped the script with a bold demand: UFC and Dana White must be involved, or there will be no fight. Jake wasn't just playing hardball, he was ensuring he got exactly what he wanted, and then some. This move left everyone wondering why Jake suddenly insisted on the UFC's involvement. But let's be real, this is Jake Paul. His entire career has been built on disrupting the status quo, and this latest demand is just another example of him shaking things up in the combat sports world.
I'm just saying, for the UFC to grant Conor McGregor the right to fight Logan Paul, and Dana hates the Pauls, you know how Dana holds grudges.
When Jake Paul calls for UFC's involvement, he's not just flexing, he's leveraging the UFC's global dominance like a chess master making a calculated move. Dana White and the UFC offer more than credibility, they bring global reach, institutional power, and a vast fan base spanning continents. Conor McGregor, with similar ambitions, has called out WWE, knowing that becoming a global sensation requires more than a few knockout wins over YouTube stars. It demands strategic partnerships and wide-reaching influence.
Dana White clause attached to this contract for Conor McGregor and Jake Paul, or Conor McGregor Logan Paul, none of this happened.
By throwing down this gauntlet, Jake Paul is executing a masterful move, forcing the UFC, the organization that once dismissed him as a sideshow, to validate his status as a serious contender in the fight game. He's not merely seeking recognition, he's demanding it. Now, the UFC faces a dilemma: ignore him or take the fight to a global audience. This decision could reshape the way fights are negotiated, potentially altering the dynamics of combat sports forever. Jake's bold strategy has put the UFC in an unprecedented position.
You guys see the Logan Paul-Conor McGregor? Wins in that fight? I think Logan Paul.
I mean, we haven't seen Conor fight in a while.
I feel like Logan Paul, at his size, when he fought Floyd too, that was years ago. He's like been training, he's in insane shape.
Man, I wish Conor wasn't doing these stuff.
Adding to the Paul McGregor rumors, another intriguing twist comes from reports about the potential location of this mega fight. ESPN's Salvador Rodriguez revealed that the bout between Logan Paul and Conor McGregor could take place in India, slated for July, August, or September 2025. The driving force behind this spectacle? The Ambani family, renowned for their immense wealth and influence. Their backing could elevate the fight from a typical showdown to a global phenomenon, transforming the event into a landmark moment in sports history.
$100 billion family looking to kind of replicate what's going on in Riyadh season in Saudi Arabia. How they're pushing into boxing. India with that kind of money, maybe trying to do.
Choosing India as the location for this mega fight isn't random, it's a strategic move. India is one of the fastest growing markets for combat sports, with a massive, untapped audience eager for more. By bringing a marquee event like this to India, the promoters aren't just targeting the country, they're making a bold statement to the entire world. This is where the future of global sports lies, and then there's the financial aspect. With the Ambani family involved, Asia's richest, boasting a staggering net worth of $113.5 billion, this isn't about pocket change. The Ambanis could bankroll the fight without so much as a dent in their telecom empire. Hosting the fight in India is about more than just putting on a show, it's about rewriting the financial playbook for combat sports. Jake Paul and Conor McGregor wouldn't just be trading punches, they'd be making history, revolutionizing how fights are promoted and monetized, all while basking in the glow of dollar signs and rupees.
First, it just came out. Conor just put it on Twitter that he was in talks with the Ambani family to fight Logan.
The timing is impeccable. With no major global sporting events dominating mid-2025, all eyes would be on India. This isn't just a fight, it's a power move, an epic, money-soaked spectacle that could redefine how and where the biggest bouts in history take place. Now, let's look at the contenders. Conor McGregor, a two-weight class world champion known for his flashy style and devastating knockout power. On the other hand, Jake Paul, the YouTuber-turned-fighter who has surprisingly convinced many that he's a legitimate threat in the ring. McGregor's fighting style, as bold as his personality, relies on swift, powerful strikes to end fights quickly. Meanwhile, Jake brings a mix of unconventionality and determination, making this showdown one for the ages.
He's a big dude, and he can crack.
Yeah.
And I always say that people look at him like a guy who is a YouTuber, and they're denying his skills.
Not anymore, bro.
Then there's Jake Paul, carving out a boxing career that's impossible to ignore. From social media star to legitimate pugilist, Jake has turned heads and ruffled feathers. As of November 2024, his professional record boasts 11 wins and just one loss, that's sole defeat coming from Tommy Fury in February 2023. Not too shabby, right? Let's not forget his amateur victory over Deji in 2018, boosting his overall tally to an impressive 12-1. Not sure, some may question the level of competition, but whether he's taking down seasoned fighters or stirring the pot with online drama, Jake Paul remains one of the most talked about names in the fight game, and don't overlook Logan Paul in this equation. He transitioned from filming pranks to squaring off with pros. His career highlights are, to say the least, unique. Logan fought KSI twice, with the outcomes being a draw and a split decision, leaving fans with no clear victor. Both Paul brothers have undeniably made their mark, turning the fight world into their personal stage.
One, it does show us that this is a Jake Paul-driven thing going on here, and that Conor McGregor makes sense because he's probably still one of, if not the biggest name in combat.
The million-dollar question is, why does this matter? Jake Paul isn't just challenging Conor McGregor, he's throwing down the gauntlet to the entire UFC establishment. By demanding UFC's involvement, he's taking aim at Dana White's monopoly on combat sports while positioning most valuable promotions as a legitimate contender. This isn't a small move, it's a calculated strategy to disrupt the traditional power dynamics of fight promotions. If Jake succeeds, the ripple effects could be monumental. It could open the door for more cross-promotional mega-events, breaking down barriers between independent fighters and corporate giants. Imagine a scenario where MVP and UFC co-promote, merging Jake's social media savvy with UFC's global influence. Such a move could reshape the landscape of combat sports, shifting the balance of power and redefining how the biggest fights are organized and promoted.
Logan said you might be next. Would you be?
Slap their nose off. He's gonna beat Logan.
The potential fight between Jake Paul and Conor McGregor isn't just about egos, it's a chance for both to redefine their legacies. McGregor's public image has taken some hits recently, from legal troubles to sponsorship losses and a series of underwhelming performances in the octagon. While a fight with Jake Paul might seem beneath him, it also presents an opportunity for McGregor to remind the world why he's still the notorious. Meanwhile, Jake Paul is playing chess while everyone else plays checkers. His callouts aren't random, they're calculated moves targeting MMA legends, positioning himself as the ultimate disruptor. Jake isn't just boxing, he's rewriting the rules of combat sports. This rivalry is compelling not only for who would win in the ring, but for the larger narrative. Jake, the social media provocateur, challenges McGregor, the king of chaos in combat sports. It's legacy versus disruption, the old guard versus the new wave, and most importantly, it's pure entertainment gold.
As crazy as it sounds now, based on how I felt about this 4 years ago, that Jake Paul would give Conor McGregor real problems in a boxing ring and potentially knock him out.
This rivalry has the potential to completely change the game. If Jake Paul versus Conor McGregor actually happens, it's not just a fight, it's a blueprint for the future of combat sports. It would prove that cross-discipline matchups can work, that social media stars can stand toe-to-toe with seasoned pros, and that the fight world is evolving in ways we never imagined. Whether you love it or hate it, you can't deny the seismic impact of this matchup, but the big question remains, is Jake Paul bluffing, or is this fight actually closer to happening than we think? With all the drama, speculation, and jaw-dropping twists Jake loves to throw into the mix, it's nearly impossible to tell. So, what's your take? Does Jake Paul really stand a chance against McGregor, or is this just another stunt to stir the pot and grab headlines? We want to hear your predictions. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't go anywhere, because we'll keep you updated on every twist in the Paul brothers' fight schedules, along with the potential game-changing role the Ambani family might play. Buckle up, things are about to get even crazier in the fight world.